Welcome, welcome. It's great to see all the names rolling in. I know this evening's event is a little bit different where previously we've had some webinars, but we would invite you if you would like to be on camera, interact with us. We love to see your faces and get to know you a little bit better. So welcome. It's great to see you all here tonight. We're here to sort of talk about our program overall. And I know first of all, congratulations on your acceptance to our UNE MSOT program for the class of 2026. Woo woo. Everyone give a little round of applause. We're really excited to welcome you to our community and talk about our program and answer any questions that you all might have tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our program director, Dr. Chris Winston, and she's going to kick off our night tonight. So I'll just pass it right over to Chris.
Hello, and again, I would say welcome. We're so excited you're here. We have some really great information to share with you and some fun things, we hope, as well. And then some really nice opportunity for you to ask questions of faculty and admissions staff, but then also an opportunity to talk directly with our students without the faculty hanging around. So that will be hopefully helpful to you all. I'm going to start by introducing folks and just doing a Hollywood squares, except that my squares just went away. So we'll see how I do here.
I can. Let me stop. I will stop for a minute and we'll
stop for just a second before I lose my squares, and then I won't lose my patience. I'll lose my squares. I'm going to start with our admissions staff. So Elise, do you want to say just a hello?
Yeah, hello. Thanks so much for joining tonight.
And Maya.
Hi.
And then our new admissions contact point is Sari, and she is up there as well.
Very nice to meet you all.
So let's see, for faculty, let me see, Jess Walton, would you start?
Hello, everyone. I'm Jess Walton. I'm the academic fieldwork coordinator for the program. Nice to have all of you here tonight.
And then Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie Harmon. I'm also one of the full-time faculty in the OT program. Welcome.
Jenny.
Hi there, I'm Jenny Dappis, and I'm also one of the full-time faculty in the OT program. Great to see you all.
And Adam.
Hi, everyone. Adam DePrimo, full-time faculty in the department. Congratulations and welcome.
And Elise.
I'm muted. Hi, I'm also full-time faculty in the OT department and teach in the adult rehab and disability part of the program.
And then you've met Carrie, who just briefly introduced herself. She's the chair of our admissions committee and also faculty. And then am I seeing any other faculty on? I think that's all of us tonight. All right, so now I'm going to introduce our first year students who have joined us today. And if maybe they could say where they're from, and then I'm going to ask the same of all of our accepted students to just give us a sense of hello and where you're joining us from tonight. So again, I'll call out some names. So Sid, do you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Sid. I'm from Standish, Maine, so like 30 minutes from Portland. Congratulations and welcome.
And Juwan?
Hey everybody, I'm Juwan. I'm from Washington State, and I'm excited to see you guys.
And Sarah?
Hi everyone, congratulations. I'm Sarah. I'm from about 30 minutes outside of Boston from a town called Southborough, Massachusetts.
And Becca?
Hey, I'm Becca. Congratulations. Can't wait to talk to you in our session later.
Oh, and Becca, where are you from?
Wow, forgot the most important.
Oh, and Katie?
Hello, I'm Katie. I'm from Burlington, Vermont, and I'm looking forward to talking to you.
Great. So now I'm going to call out some names of the rest of our guests here. If you could just say hi and where you're joining us from. Carly.
Hi, I am Carly and I am currently in Colorado.
Colorado, great. Julia White.
Hi, I'm Julia. I am currently in Biddeford.
All right, close. Michaela.
Hi, I'm Michaela. I'm also in Biddeford.
Great. And Macy?
Hi, I'm Macy. I'm from Colorado and I'm in Colorado right now as well.
Great. Alexandra?
Hi, I'm Alexandra, and I'm also in Biddeford.
Lovely. Allison?
Hi, I'm Allison. I am from Boston.
Awesome. All right, wonderful. Caitlin?
Hi, it's good to be here. I am also in Colorado. I'm in Arvada.
Great. Jenny?
Hi, I'm Jenny. Right now I'm in Rhode Island, but I'm originally from Massachusetts.
All right. And is it Annika?
It's Anika, actually.
Anika. See, I knew I was going
Yeah.
for one or the
It's
other.
a tricky one. I'm Anika, and I'm joining you from New York in my car.
Oh, no. Well, stay warm.
I am. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. Amelia?
I am currently in a suburb of Boston, but I was raised in the city.
All right. And Gabriella?
Hi, sorry, I lost my voice, so I
Oh,
apologize.
no.
But I'm currently in San Diego, California.
Great. And Evan?
Hello, I'm currently in Wilmington, North Carolina.
All right. A little bit of geography differences here, which is nice. Annabelle?
Hi, I'm Annabelle. I'm from Connecticut.
Great. And Leah?
I'm from Asheville, North Carolina.
All right. So we've got a Colorado, Carolina, North Carolina, California, local, nice mix of people. Great. I think that's everybody, unless I missed someone. All right. Carrie, do you want to take the next?
Yes, hold on one second. I'm just going to share my screen here.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see if I can get this full screen. Sorry. Well, it's not letting me do what I want to do. So we're going to hang here with my little screen as it is. Can everyone see what I'm sharing here? We're
Yes.
good? Okay. So plan for tonight, we've already gone through some introductions. We want to go through a little, we're going to go through sort of what we consider our top 10, sort of the top 10 things that we are proud of and excited to share about in our MSOT program. We do have a little bit of a very friendly competition, a little poll everywhere to talk about some of the highlights of our program. There are prizes for the top 5. So we'll get you some UNE swag and get you ready to be bringing that to campus here in May. And then for the last bit, it's really important that you get a chance to talk with our students. So we're going to create some time for you all to be with our students tonight. So let's jump into it. The top 10 reasons that we love UNE MSOT, and we hope that you as part of our community also come to love these aspects of our program. The first thing I want to talk about is that we are a 2-year program. So 6 semesters start to finish. So truly 24 months from matriculation into our program to being eligible to sit for your NBCOT examination. And so to give you a sense of what that looks like, starting in the summer, so starting in May, we have what we call a foundational semester, and that semester is really all about the basics, the really introductory information about our profession. That includes things like kinesiology, therapeutic use of self, occupational analysis, which really teaches you the language of OT and our practice framework and how we talk about and name and frame occupation. We have a foundational course in occupational therapy that talks about the history, the tenets, the roots of our profession. And then you learn about various health conditions that you may encounter as an occupational therapy practitioner. The fall starts our mental health pillar. So we have 3 pillar semesters that have to do with various areas of practice. And so in the fall, the focus is on mental health. We have a lecture and lab related to mental health practice. We also start to talk about neuro occupations, so a focus on neuroscience and how the complexity of neuro really influences human occupation and engagement. We have a course that's specifically related to leadership and advocacy, and that's really one of our outcomes in our program is that we want to help our students become leaders and advocates in their profession for their clients, families, and really embrace this idea of everyday leadership. We also have our first of 2 research courses and a level 1 fieldwork seminar, which focuses on mental health practice. In the spring, our pillar is children and youth. And so you're going to be learning a lot about, all from birth up to 17, 18 adolescents. You'll have a case-based course that applies some of that knowledge and understanding. We have a course in healthcare management, as well as your second research course. So we have 2 research courses in our curriculum. You also do a fieldwork experience and a fieldwork seminar related to children and youth in the spring semester. Your 4th semester, which is your second summer semester, is focused on adult rehab, disability, and participation. So all about adult rehabilitation, anywhere 18 up, dealing with a variety of conditions in a variety of settings. You have a case-based course to accompany that, as well as an essentials course. And essentials is really some of the emerging practice areas, some of the niche areas of practice, such as feeding and eating, assistive technology, orthotics and prosthetics. There's a whole bunch of different modules within that course. And then we have a course focused on communities and context, which really highlights the importance of context on occupation, and is again directly related to one of our program outcomes. You again have some level 1 fieldwork that semester related to adult rehab. And then starting in the fall and spring semesters, you go out on 2 level 2 fieldwork rotations. So both of those are 12-week rotations. And Jess Walton, who's our fieldwork coordinator, can answer a bunch of questions if you have them about those level 2 fieldwork opportunities. We have contracts throughout the United States. We even had a student this past fall do an international placement. So we work really closely with our students to ensure that the placement meets their learning needs, and it's really a good opportunity or a good both geographic match as well as a good match for their learning style and preferences. We then bring you back to campus for graduation week to celebrate your accomplishments, really synthesize your learning and help you get ready to take your NBCOT examination. So again, it's 24 months start to finish until you are ready to sit for that examination. So I am going to pass it off to Jenny to talk about our campuses.
Great, thanks so much. So we live and learn in Southern Maine. We have a graduate-focused health professions campus in beautiful Portland, Maine. We'll get some pictures on the next slide. In Portland, we have 41 acres of campus. We have a beautiful courtyard, which you can see here. We're right next to a cemetery where people sometimes take walks during lunchtime. And it's just a beautiful place with great temperate climate. We've got great seasons, and we don't have waterfront in Portland, but we're very close to the water, so we have great water access. The greater Portland community is incredible. I'm actually pretty new myself. I moved here a couple of years ago, and it's just incredible. I sometimes take my kids out on the ferries to the islands in Casco Bay. There's you can get to skiing from here. There's so many options, a lot of ice skating, concerts, all sorts of incredible things. Obviously seafood, waterfront. We have a lot of great things in Portland. There's a very great cultural, I would say, culture. There's some nightlife. There's a lot of great things in Portland that are wonderful that don't exactly relate exactly to what you're learning, but we have a lot of fun in Portland, so that's important. And in Biddeford, we have 4,000 feet of water frontage. It's a beautiful campus, lots of water access. We're obviously, you can see right in the picture, we're right close to the waterfront, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. We also, next slide, have a campus in Morocco. So we have the first American University campus established in Morocco. And I'm going to hand it over to someone else.
That would be me. So number 3, the great thing about UNE is that you get to learn alongside training health profession students. And we at UNE are the #1 provider for health professionals in Maine. And we are really committed to educating leaders in healthcare who make a huge difference for patients and the communities that they are in. We have over 12 graduate and doctoral health related programs, some of which include athletic training. We have a dental medicine program, nurse anesthesia program, our osteopathic medicine program, which is currently housed on the Biddeford campus, but will be coming to the UNE campus in the next couple of years. Obviously, we have our OT program, PT, physician's assistant, pharmacy, and a number of other programs as well. We really are a leader in healthcare collaboration and education, and we do a lot of work interprofessionally with other students on the campus. So you won't just be collaborating with other occupational therapy students, but you'll have the opportunity to engage with students who are learning about other professions, which will be really, really helpful and important as you enter into your career as an occupational therapist. Some of the partnerships that we currently have, one of our big partnerships currently is Westbrook Housing Authority. Westbrook is a community right outside of Portland, and they have a large number of senior housing opportunities for folks in the community. They have over 11 buildings, over 650 residents, age 55 and plus. And we have had a number of different opportunities to engage with residents living in these communities. We've been able to go in and do some home safety evaluations, provide folks with adaptive equipment and kind of look at their safety in their homes and how they're functioning, as well as provide some educational opportunities, some health education classes, some wellness classes, and just really engage with the older adult population in a community that's very close to Portland. And we do that interprofessionally as well with physical therapy students, dental hygiene students, social work students. So it's a great opportunity that's available to the students in our program. And I'm going to hand it off to Jamie to talk about our LEND program.
Great. So I'm not sure how many people are familiar with LEND, but LEND is a federally funded project, and it's really aimed at expanding resources for individuals with developmental disorder diagnoses. So it does a lot with training healthcare professionals that are already in the field. So in part of our group right now, we have pediatricians, optometrists, speech and language pathologists, OT, PT, just a huge variety of students and professionals that are getting together. We meet on Fridays. There's a large didactic portion to it, as well as going into the community. So it's really it's a great opportunity. We do open it up to students in their second half of their time when they're on campus to apply to the program. There is a stipend provided for people, and you participate in the program during your 2 level 2 field works. Oh, you can switch. Okay, this is me as well, I believe. No. This is me still, Carrie?
I think we're passing it off to Elise for this
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Thanks.
Jamie, you can stay unmuted if you want to jump in. It's fine. You can join me.
My puppies are being loud, but I will if they're being quiet.
Okay, that's fine. Hi, everyone. I'm Elise. So I'm going to talk about how our faculty makes it a very specific, let's say, effort, for lack of a better term, to connect with each and every student. When you arrive, you'll be assigned a faculty member as your student advisor. So we will meet with you once a semester and discuss how your academics are going, how we can connect you with other resources and opportunities and create a really unique experience for you while you're here with us for our program. Carrie, do you want me to give a little background about everybody, or what do you think?
Maybe just a little sprinkling of sort of some of our backgrounds.
Sure.
A good understanding. Yeah,
So we're going to go left to right, starting at the top upper corner. So program director, Chris, I believe that she has a nice strong background in pediatrics. So you'll see her in potentially a foundationals course or in pediatrics. Jenny has joined us recently and is teaching in the research courses, and I think in the pediatric lab as well in this coming spring. So she'll be doing that. Carrie and I teach often together in the adult rehab pillar, as well as in neurooccupations. And so Carol teaches a lot in the mental health lecture and lab. So you'll see her quite a bit, potentially in the foundational semester, but also in the mental health pillar. And so Erin also just joined us recently and has a really strong background in community programming, as well as in working with the geriatric population. So forgive me, but I believe that she is also contributing to the research course this spring. Am I forgetting something for Erin, Carrie? Okay.
No, she also teaches in our occupational analysis course and is sort of across the curriculum. So yeah.
You got it. You got it. So Adam, he teaches in the research coursework, a course in your final semester's communities and context. He's also teaching in a case-based course this spring. And then Jamie and I have taught in the health conditions foundational pillar together. She also does a lot of work with the pediatric and mental health pillars. Jess, oops, sorry, am I going too slow? Is this like getting the music on an award show? Like, you are now out of time.
No, it was an incorrect
okay.
push. I apologize.
Okay. False alarm. Okay. Jess, she teaches a course in management, and then she teaches the fieldwork seminar courses, and will just be your go-to for all of your fieldwork and your clinical experiences. And then myself, I think I kind of outlined myself alongside with Carrie, but I also teach in the foundational course of the functional movement analysis course as well. But we can next slide it. All right. And so our professional staff is Melissa, who recently joined us, as well as Matt. And Matt does a lot of work with Jess for fieldwork coordination. And Melissa is our go-to for anything administrative and our direct contact with Chris. But again, congratulations and welcome.
And we'll pass it off to Chris for these next few slides. Oh, Chris is muted.
That's not helpful. So one of the things we pride ourselves on is the work we like to do in terms of mentoring students to really become strong leaders and practitioners once they leave us and enter the world of occupational therapy practice. So we have a lot of opportunities to collaborate with faculty in our program and also in other programs in the Westbrook College of Health Professions and on the Portland campus. We have a strong focus on evidence-based practice and the ability to understand and use evidence, as opposed to necessarily creating independent evidence, but really being able to use the evidence that's out there. We're really happy to present with our students at national and international conferences. 3 of our students just this past week, actually it's just been about a week, were part of an international panel at a conference in Morocco, and they did an amazing job. We present locally at the Maine OT Association, and some of our students have also had opportunities to be co-authors with faculty on book chapters or articles for OT practice and also some of the other journals in the field. Oops. Oh, ah! So another way that faculty and students are actively engaged together is we have a very active UNE Student Occupational Therapy Association group. We have a chapter that is going to be celebrating its 30th anniversary this year of the National Honor Society Pi Theta Epsilon for occupational therapy. And we also have an active chapter of the National Coalition of Occupational Therapy Advocates for Diversity that is probably 3 years old now, I think. So that's that.
And we'll pass it over to Jamie one more time.
Okay. So we have a very welcoming, inclusive, and vibrant community. There is so much to do, both on campus and off campus. If you want to advance the slide. So here are just some pictures to show some photos of what we are engaged in. In the center, we have Dr. Winston with a group of students. It's very common that students get together through UNISOTA or a different organization they're involved in and participate in a lot of fundraising walks and really get out and advocate in the community. On the far left-hand side, at least on my screen, there's a picture of us that's one of the LEND training programs where we had like a family picnic day and engaged with some of the clients in the program. And then you can see another photo of some adaptive sports. We also do some work with food pantries, a different advocacy project, bake sales, food drives, sock drives, you name it. So there's lots of programs and places that we are involved in. There's always something to do here. So here's some photos of a field trip that I was one of the faculty that went on over a year ago to the Kumar Center, which is in Newton, Massachusetts. Some of you might be familiar with it. But they have a lot of suspension equipment, a lot of sensory integration equipment. The students got to, test out, try, see what it's like to be a kiddo that's on some of this equipment, see how it makes your body feel, and see how sensory integration therapy really works. So that was a really fun trip that we've been taking the last, I think, like 4 or 5 years. So that's a great experience.
All right. So, sorry, Carrie.
You're good.
So Adam here, I'm going to talk about opportunity for international travel. You may have noticed, at least for those of you who aren't on the Biddeford campus or Biddeford undergrads, you saw a picture with a white building that shows a campus in Morocco. You can switch to the next slide. So we have a campus in Morocco. Yes, it really is as wild as you think it is. You're walking in the middle of the streets of Tangier, Morocco, a country in northwestern Africa, and all of a sudden you turn to your left and you'll see a building that says University of New England. That is our campus. It is an awesome campus. I got the privilege and benefit to actually go on one of our OT trips, which is coordinated with a course in last January. Chris just mentioned she just recently returned with last week, a week and a half ago, with 3 students from this most recent class as well. For those of you who are from the Biddeford campus, you're very well aware of our connections with Morocco, but for those of you who are just joining us for the first time in the UNE family, seriously put this on your calendars. When this will occur is in between your 2 Fieldwork 2 experiences. So you'll have gone through all of your coursework. You'll go out for your first Fieldwork 2 in the fall, and then you can plan to go from about January 1st to about January 10th, right before you start your second fieldwork. It is a wonderful opportunity to just take a break from fieldwork opportunities. But the other cool thing about it is the course that it's associated with is called Occupational Science in Morocco. And so we talk much more about the cultural contextual differences of how people engage in occupations and how that looks different from, an American culture or setting in Maine as it would in Tangier, Morocco. So here we just have a couple pictures of the students. Jordan, who is on the front camel, is also going to be narrating this quick video, which we do get to watch, right?
Yes, I'm gonna be sure I'm sharing my sound. So hang with me for 1 second.
I can vamp. So Morocco, you'll be there for 10 days. You can also elect to stay. You can come early, you can come a little bit later. And students have done that in the past. They've gone to Casablanca, they've gone to Rabat, they've maybe gone back to Chefchaouen, and wherever they want to go. You can maybe fly back over to Portugal, to Spain, to France. It's all relatively close there, so you can make a trip out of it if you have the means to do so. I can't express how fun it was, and you learn a lot. You get to really juxtapose what we kind of develop for you here in our curriculum against just completely different ways of everywhere from going to the bathroom to, being social with friends and family. I can continue to vamp if it doesn't work.
Hey everyone, it's Jordan here, another day in Morocco. And today the focus was to take a train ride down to Rabat to meet with other OT students from Columbia University and American International College. We stopped by some local sites, just enjoyed the sunshine, the architecture, took a lot of photos.
Yes! Wait, Elise, get in the picture. It's a video.
Oh, it's a video. And we found ourselves ultimately at the OT school in Rabat. And that was super fun because we met with the Moroccan OT students. We collaborated on the activities that they had planned there. And it was just nice to get to know them and really interact with them, to meet with other Moroccan OT students. I think it definitely broadens my perspective. After that, we enjoyed some Moroccan mint tea, some lunch.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yes. Thank you, UNE. We had to rushed back into the train station. That was a whole adventure, just running and making their way. So that was exciting. What a day. Super tired.
If you want to go see more videos of that, that was just one day for our Morocco trip. We have, I think, at least 5 others, or maybe 4 or 5 others. They are on the series. You can see right before Carrie clicks the next video to play, up in the top right corner, or excuse me, the top left corner, you'll see our avatar. So just search for UNE on YouTube and go back and look for their shorts. You can find the other video vlogs from that day. This next video is about another trip that you have access to and can sign up for. This happens in your first year. It'll occur over spring break. So you have to mark it on your calendars a little bit earlier and get your classmates to sign up for it. But we actually travel to Guatemala. We visit 2 major cities. We do actually 3, but we fly into Guatemala City, and then we head out into the highlands in Antigua and Lecatitlan for a week. And we get to, very much like Morocco, see how much more related closely to disability and how occupations happen in Central America as well. So we'll watch a video from this past March.
Hola, this is day 4 of the PT and OT Guatemala trip. We start day 4 off with breakfast and a view. After breakfast, we head to La Porta Erbieta, which started off as a library. They have classes for Espanol, Math, Fayed, and they have a garden that the children plant themselves and sell the produce for profit. We went over to Hospitalito, which we donated some medical supplies and went on a tour of the facility. And for day 6, we are back at transitions today to build some occupational profiles and families and the client. Then we see one of our students taking one of the wheelchairs down one of the ramps at the transitions facility.
Ooh, nailed it.
We then ate lunch with some people at the transitions and got to really share some stories along the lunch table. And then we headed back to the hotel and we got to take some Spanish lessons at the hotel.
And scene. Tag, you're up.
Great. I think we'll have Chris again talk about the badges really quick.
Sure. We have a number of opportunities at UNE for students who are interested to earn what we call badges, which is a sort of extended opportunity for learning. And right now we have 4 that really are a good match for occupational therapy students. We have interprofessional honors badge. We have a trauma-informed school-based practice badge. There's an information literacy, which is really focusing on health literacy as well as general information, and then a diversity leadership badge. And there are all kinds of different activities that go with each badge. There are faculty members that mentor students through the process. And it's a really nice addition to your resume when you finish to be able to add the electronic badge to your signature and utilize that to demonstrate some focused study.
Great.
We'll pass it over to Jenny. Yeah.
Thanks. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about our innovative learning spaces. On the Portland campus, we do have a graduate focused campus. It's only graduate students, which means that it's tailored to our needs, which is really great. We do have on the Portland campus an interprofessional simulation and innovation center. And as I said, I'm new to UNE and I've never seen anything like this. It's incredible. We can bring our students over and they have actors and they simulate, basically act like patients, and our clients, and our students have to act like occupational therapists. And it's an incredible experience to be able to kind of practice being an occupational therapist in a low stakes environment. It's very cool and brand new. Everything's really incredible. We have a lot of what do you call them, mannequins and all sorts of things that we can work with in the sim lab. We also have an incredible occupational therapy lab. If you want to switch to the next slide, Carrie, thanks. We have a suspension equipment in there. We have all sorts of things that you might need to learn, practical occupational therapy skills. As you probably all know, occupational therapy isn't your traditional, we can't just work in a traditional setting. We need specific equipment. And UNE has that equipment. We have it on the Portland campus and we're able to access it kind of all. And it's really great to have all those resources right where we are every day. So.
And I'll pass it off to Jess for number 10, which I would say is our probably most prideful point, which is our students. So I'll let Jess take this one over.
I was going to say number 10, which is last, but certainly not least. Our students just play obviously a vital role in our program. And it's really fun to see our students come onto campus for that first semester in the summer. Some of them know each other, a lot of people don't. People are coming from all different backgrounds, different parts of the country, and just watching students gather together and learn and bond as a class, and really create meaningful relationships with one another as they go through the process of becoming future OTs is really fun to see as a faculty member, and it's great to watch our students engaging with one another. In some of these slides, you can see our students doing some community-based experiences. We have photos from the Kumar Center, from students in Morocco, students attending different conferences. And it's great to be able to bond with your classmates as you work through those 6 semesters of your time with us in the OT program.
All right, and I'll have Adam talk about our social media just a little bit.
We're on social media. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow our Unisota on Instagram as well as our COTAD. I heard that Chris is really getting into TikTok, so she might start a TikTok for us. But as it is right now, we don't have a TikTok just yet. Chris is AFK, so she probably didn't hear that joke. Nope, she is not AFK.
We gotta sharpen up on our TikTok dances, Chris. There you go. All right, and Jamie, I know this is an opportunity for our students to come join us and hang out with our OT community. So I'd love for you to talk about the expo a little bit.
Yeah, so every year in the spring, we do an adaptive projects expo, and this is kind of one of those key moments where we get to see our students shine. So this is the end of the pediatric semester this year. It is on April 23rd from 4:30 to 6:30 in our big innovation hall. And the students that are actually our first years that are online tonight will be creating a innovative project that either an individual in the community is in need of, and we have therapists in the community working with clients that are requesting certain items. It might be a relative or someone they either babysit or are BHP for that needs a piece of equipment or funding for a specific item. And our students get to choose a project that really gets them excited, that really gets them involved, and they work on adapting some type of equipment or activity or project that these individuals need and create that for them and present them at the expo. It is live streamed for usually News Channel 6 and 8. And it's just a really great opportunity to show off all they've learned in the, semesters prior to this experience. It's really fun because they're starting to kind of create and be professionals. And then, a few semesters after this, students that we work with are out in the world and they become our peers very quickly. So this is just a taste of kind of getting them ready for that. It's really exciting and fun. So please join us if anyone's in the area.
Yeah, and again, it'll be live streamed. I think we usually live stream that on some of our social media channels as well. So even if you're in Colorado or North Carolina or California, wherever you may be, it would be great to welcome you virtually to this really fun event in our department.
Can I add real quickly, Carrie, that the person who is playing the fishing game there is the president of University of New England, and this is an event that he is really supportive of and comes and actively engages in all of the things that our students have created. So it's a well-supported event by everyone on campus.
So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for a moment, and I'd love to open the floor. If folks have any pressing questions right now, we can probably handle a couple questions. I'm going to prep our Poll Everywhere. Are folks familiar with Poll Everywhere as an app? Kind of, sort of. So if you search just Poll Everywhere on your phone for an app, you can also do this from your PC. I'll have some instructions as to how you can log in. This is sort of a competition style little quiz. I didn't tell you it was a pop quiz, but it's a fun one. There's prizes, so that's good. And it's just sort of talking about what we just covered in our top 10 here tonight. But if there are questions, feel free to unmute or type them in the chat. And I'll just leave that open for a few minutes while I get the Poll Everywhere up and situated.
While Carrie's doing that, are there any questions that we can answer either in the chat or if you want to raise a hand or jump out and ask about fieldwork or the program?
I have a question.
Great.
What sets your master's program apart from some of the doctorate programs, and what are the pros to going to a master's program versus a doctorate program and getting jobs and stuff like that when the world of OT is kind of changing to a doctorate program?
So first of all, I want to dispel the rumor that the world of OT is transitioning to a doctoral program as an entry point. There are 4 points of entry into the profession right now, doctoral, entry-level doctorate being one of them, master's being the other, and then there's 2 points of entry for OT assistants, either at a bachelor's level or an associate degree level. So right now, master's and doctoral are both entry points into the profession, and until we hear anything different, that will remain as it is. And just so people know, there are lots of folks practicing in occupational therapy that have a bachelor's degree, which is what I have as an occupational therapist. And even when we transition to the master's degree, my ability to practice with a bachelor's was upheld. So should the profession transition to an entry-level doctorate at some point in the future, anyone who is trained with a bachelor's degree or a master's degree will still be able to practice. So that won't mean that if you have a master's degree, you're going to have to go back to school. That's not the case. One of the things to think about is that the world of OT practice in terms of employment does not view an entry-level doctorate any differently than they view an entry-level master's degree. So you are considered an entry-level practitioner, whether you have a master's degree or a doctorate. That's different if you have a post-professional doctorate, which is an entirely different degree. There may be some systems like school districts where there's a tiered level where they might look at an entry level doctorate a little bit differently, but we've found that the pay rate is no different, that you're looked at as a brand new clinician, whether you have an entry level doctorate or a master's. For us, we think that number one, it's a quicker path to practice. If your goal is to be an OT practitioner, within 2 years, you're out in the field practicing, whereas most doctoral programs, it's an additional year of study before you practice. We think that there's a cost advantage to doing a 2-year master's degree versus a 3-year doctoral degree. I think there's a third practice capstone project. I'm trying to think, Carrie, help me out, or someone help me out, what they call the 14-week.
Yeah, it's a capstone.
Yes.
It's a capstone project.
It's a capstone,
if you're yeah. So it's like
it's a third 14-week experience. It could be a clinical experience. It could be a research experience. It could be something different than that. One of the reasons at the University of New England that we have chosen not to move to a doctoral degree has to do with what I just talked about, but also has to do with the fact that we feel really strongly that we're training really great entry-level practitioners. Our students do phenomenally well on field work. They're well respected. We get a lot of sites that call and ask for our students. So we feel like we are putting students out in the field as practitioners that can stand up against any entry-level practitioner, whether their degree is a master's or a doctoral degree.
Can I add one thing to that, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also wanted to add in, if you are somebody who thinks that research and scholarship might be in your future in terms of either continuing a research agenda or maybe going into higher education as a professor, a lot of those places will be not looking for the entry level OTD. They're going to be looking for a post-professional type degree. So either a post-professional doctoral degree in OT or more of a terminal degree like the PhD or the EDD. So, depending on what your aspirations are further along in your career, that's another thing to think about beyond just the entry level.
Yeah, you can tell we're very passionate about this topic. I want to just add on very briefly to those two. So there's actually in our faculty representation of that, we have a couple of us who have gone to get their PhDs, a couple of us who are actively pursuing their PhD in NDD, and we have 2 faculty to faculty who have gotten their post-professional OTDs. So if that is something that you want to do in the future, you will have practice by then, and it's much easier to figure out what that capstone project will be once you're interested in pursuing that either clinical practice or that research practice. And just to hop on Carrie's last point there too is, even if you didn't want to do the research type of zone, but you wanted to go into teaching, there are accreditation standards that require the majority of faculty to be post-professional terminal degrees. So if you've got your entry-level OTD and there's already over 50% of the faculty with entry levels, then you would not be able to get a job there. So it does limit you in that sense too. We can talk about this forever, but I'm going to mute again.
Leah, I see your, oh, go ahead, Chris. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I was just to say I recognize Leah has her, but I just wanted to say, hopefully, Carly, that answers your question. And it is an individual a decision for every student who's considering pursuing the field. But I know that there's a lot of sort of ambiguity out there, but I want people to know that there are 2 points of entry to becoming an occupational therapist.
And we are really actively following those conversations at a national level as well. So it's not as though we're not tuned into those conversations as they're happening at accreditation levels and with our national organizations. So we always have our ear to the ground thinking about, you know, what's happening in terms of the evolution. But right now we are, you know, multiple points of entry into the profession, and that's the way it will be for as long as we've known, as far in the future as we can see. So Leah, I want to invite you, we'll handle Leah's question, and then I think we'll move into the poll everywhere. I'm going to share my screen so people can get set up with the poll everywhere while we answer Leah's question. But Leah.
Oh, hey, I actually pronounce it Leia.
Leia, thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, sure. But so I was just wondering, in terms of, I was kind of thinking about steps for like finances is paying for grad school. So maybe just kind of like a brief description or kind of like where I should get started. I know the FAFSA is kind of in there. And then I also was curious, I'm really interested in the international opportunities, but just was curious about like the price for that and how that works, or if it's a lot extra, you know, on the tuition.
So I'll start and anybody else can jump in, but the FAFSA is definitely the place to start. Our financial aid department is also really helpful. If you reached out to them and said, you know, you've been accepted, there's some information on our website about cost of attendance. But they're very helpful in terms of thinking about, you know, what's a budget, what are good things to think about. There are also scholarship opportunities. They're small. There's not a lot of big scholarships, but we do have a list. And if you email me, I can send that list out to you in terms of looking at some of the opportunities that exist. We do have a lot of students that get graduate assistantships or work on campus that's really conducive to you being involved in your studies at the same time, like the library or the gym, where you can study and do work as well as work for those entities. The trips vary a little bit. I know this year the students purchased their own airfare, and then the entire 10-day trip was $1,900. The Guatemala trip, I can't remember, Adam, what the price was for Guatemala. Do you remember?
I think it's around the same.
Yeah.
And then flights can vary depending on when you buy it and when you know you're going.
And because those trips are attached to a course, you can use your financial aid money to attend those trips. And so if you think you want to go, you can talk with financial aid about increasing your financial aid for that semester in order to be able to attend one of the international travel opportunities.
And in terms of the international fieldwork placement, the student that she went to Ecuador, the cost for that was obviously airfare to to Ecuador. The site fortunately had housing for a very nominal fee, so the student that's there is essentially, you know, taking care of living expenses and food and lodging, but it was not an astronomical expense to go and do that level 2 placement in Ecuador.
Carrie,
Evan,
can we take one more quick? Was it Evan?
Yeah, I do want to recognize, I saw Evan's hand up. Yeah, please.
Hello. Yeah, I was just wondering, I didn't say anything, but do you guys have a human cadaver lab for the OT students?
That's a
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead, Chris. Nope, go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say, we do not access the human cadaver lab that's on the Biddeford campus at this point in time because there's a lot of travel involved in getting to the campus, so it's not conducive to our being able to do that. However, we are hoping in the future as we bring that opportunity to the Portland campus that will change. So right now we're using other technology in terms of our anatomy, neuroanatomy, and kinesiology content, but not using human cadavers. I think another thing that when you have a College of Medicine on campus, the other health professions programs often get not, oh, I will say, what's the word I want? Difficult cadavers to work with, only because the College of Medicine students have the priority. So it isn't something that we've chosen to pursue.
And one thing I will add, Evan, is that in our librarians and in our library services, we do have some like virtual dissection tools so that we can actually go through layer by layer. And I'm thinking like we can talk about cranial nerves and we can go in and peel back layer by layer for all the cranial nerves and see those pathways. So I know it's not like the hands-on component, but we definitely do utilize that technology in the classroom.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question. So I want to encourage folks, if they want to play our little game here tonight and win some prizes, if you want to join us and poll everywhere, I would encourage you to put your name in just so we know who is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so we can send you some goodies after tonight. So this is a timed component. So the quicker you enter your answer, the more points you get. I promise they're not very challenging questions. It should be pretty fun. So if folks need more time, just let me know, but I hopefully we can jump into this poll everywhere. Are folks accessing it okay? Can people find it all right? Ooh, I'm seeing the chat here. When I click the link, it says I need to register for credits. Allison, if you can clarify which link.
Just when I clicked the first link that you sent out with the username.
Yep.
Oh, there's a skip now.
Okay, good. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna hopefully click into the next slide here. All right, so first question. So you should see the question on your screen, and then it'll give you some options to answer. So we have 3 campuses. Where are they located? Got 10 seconds to answer here. Very challenging question, I know. All right, excellent. So we've got Biddeford, Portland, and Tangier. Again, our Biddeford campus tends to be our undergraduate folks. Portland is our graduate focused campus, and then obviously our Tangier campus as well. So I'll have to ask who these folks are with the web names, but we've got some good contenders here. Who is our fearless leader, our UNE MSOT program director? I'll give you a hint. That person is on the call tonight, and it might not be Dr. Seuss. Great. We have Dr. Winston is our program director. Got Julia in first place here. So which of these courses occurs in the first semester? So that first foundational semester, first summer. Management, occupational analysis, neurooccupation, or mental health? Nice job. Occupational analysis is in that first semester. Really good. We have 2 level 2 fieldwork experiences. How long are those level 2 fieldwork placements? 24 weeks, 2 months, 12 weeks, 6 weeks. So each of them are how long? Awesome, 12 weeks, very good, 2 12-week placements. Some folks in the lineup, excellent. Who is, and this person is also on the call tonight, our academic fieldwork coordinator? Awesome. It is Professor Walton. She is the one in charge of all of our fieldwork placements, and she'll be working closely with you as students to figure out the best placement and direction for you for those experiences. All right. How many research courses do we have in our program? 1, 0, 3, or 2? Awesome. 2 research courses in the fall and the spring semesters. So semesters 2 and 3. Got some movement on that leaderboard. In which semester does our program start? Do we start in the spring, which is January, summer, which is a May start, or fall, which is an August start? Good. Yes, we do start in May. So we do start pretty quickly after commencement ceremonies in May. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. Great. Which of the following is not a prerequisite? So hopefully, if you had to take this course, I will apologize, but it's not because we needed you to take the course. Great. Yes, physics. If you're anyone like me, me and physics did not get along very well. So I'm grateful that that was not a prerequisite for my program either. All right, moving on. When does our Adaptive Project Expo occur? Very good. It's in the spring, this coming April. And again, we'd love to welcome you there. And then how many level 1 fieldwork experiences, so not the level 2s, but the level 1s, do we require in our program? Awesome, it's 3. Great. 1 in mental health, 1 in children and youth, and then 1 for adult rehabilitation, rehabilitation, disability, and participation. So excellent. And do we have a LEND program? Pretty easy one, yes or no? We sure do. Yes, we do. And Jamie is our contact person for that. And yeah, we are happy to share more about that if you have more questions. And digital badge, is interprofessional education one of those digital badges? Yes or no? It is definitely, and I don't think we've highlighted a lot tonight, but I know in a lot of our prior calls, interprofessional education is really a strong part of our culture at UNE, and we're really proud of the work that we do with and alongside other professions, learning from each other, learning about each other, and learning with each other for more complex topics and cases that affect healthcare professionals. And do we have a UNE Student Occupational Therapy Association called UNISOTA? Yes or no? That one is definitely true. Very good. And do we have a COTAD chapter, a Coalition of Occupational Therapy Advocates for Diversity? We sure do. We have an active chapter of COTAD. I'm currently serving as the faculty advisor for that. And then Carol Lambden Padavina is our faculty mentor for our UNE Student Occupational Therapy group. And do we have a greater than 95% pass rate on the NVCOT exam for 2015 to 2021? Is that true or is that not true? It is most definitely true. We're really proud of our pass rates and the success that our students have leaving our program. So really, really good statistics there. And do your level 2 fieldwork experiences only happen in the greater Portland, Maine area? True or false? That is definitely false. We have contracts across the United States, and I'm sure Jess is more than happy to answer any questions folks have about fieldwork. And do we have an upgraded OT lab that is a dedicated learning space for our OT program? True or false? Whoops, this is true. Very good, excellent. And in our program, do we only focus on which of the following? RDP, mental health, children and youth research, or everything prepares our graduates for diverse career options? Fabulous. Yes, as Chris mentioned, we really feel strongly that our program prepares our students to be really strong entry-level practitioners who are really ready to enter the field and serve a variety of populations. So this might be a tricky one, but some of our level 1 fieldwork experiences and practical examinations, so having patient actors and acting as the occupational therapist, occur where on campus? So our Center for Advancement of IPE, our Simulation Center, the Cumberland County Jail, or our Center for Aging and Health. Great, it is the ISAC, yes, our Interprofessional Simulation and Innovation Center. And is our program 24 months in length? True or false? That is true. Very good. All right, so we have our winners here. So awesome job, Carly, Caitlin. I think we got Jenny on there. Whoever is Web 6 FAEB or guest 529, if you want to just either private message or identify yourself in the chat, we would love to be able to send you some prizes for tonight. So thank you for playing along in our little poll everywhere here. Elise and our grad admissions team will be sure to send out some fun UNE gifts to you all. So thank you very much. Do you guys have those written down or do you need this up a little bit more?
I was able to grab those names, Carrie. We'll just need to know who number 3 and 4 are, but I think we're ready to open up the breakout rooms and maybe we can grab those before we end the session. I am going to stop our recording, so let me just stop that for a second.